In this exclusive free presentation, you're about to discover how the internet's greenest newbies suddenly started flooding their sites with avalanches of free traffic virtually overnight, and how you could pocket easy commissions of $45 to $200 a day or more starting 21 minutes from now using this exact same secret. Just minutes from now, you can begin amassing your own 6 or 7 figure a year portfolio following the leads of the internet's greenest newbies. Now that might sound a little crazy, I know, so let me explain. It was the beginning of December 2010 when two well-known and widely respected internet marketers first started using this new system that had just been completed by their programming team after tens of thousands of dollars of investment and months of blood, sweat, and tears. The morning of the first test, their office looked and felt like the NASA Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. And just like the launch of a space rocket, the first test of this wicked software tool had a lot riding on it. Would it sputter on the launch pad and fizzle out before it even got off the ground? Would it painfully achieve liftoff only to be blown to smithereens mere moments later? Or would it flawlessly take to the air like a modern-day marvel of engineering? The truth lay somewhere in the middle. While it may make for a more compelling story to say that success was instantaneous, well, the truth was that it wasn't. But it wasn't far from the truth either, and as a couple more hours of testing, tweaking, and programming was all that it needed to achieve near perfect working order. Then the launch button was pushed again, and Phase 1 completed at a blazing speed, far faster than anticipated, and then Phase 2 began mere minutes later. And then, as our two mad scientists just sat and watched, as the traffic started to pour. And this is not one of those stories where it barely worked at first and then turned into a landslide. No. The landslide started on the very first day. In fact, the very hour that Phase 2 was set into motion, a steady stream of perfectly targeted, devoutly interested visitors started to flow, and it hasn't stopped since. But the most shocking part of the whole experiment was not the oodles of free traffic that these two marketers could now tap into, nor was it the fast and furious commissions and sales that they could generate while the program silently ran in the background. The most shocking thing was that total green newbies, and I'm talking the greenest of the green, guys and girls that have never made a cent, built a site, generated even a single website visitor, were getting the exact same results as the seasoned professionals. Now, I hate to write this down with such binding certainty, but the simple truth is that every single person that applied the system got the same results. No matter what race or color they were, no matter their background or education, and no matter their financial or economic status, they all got the same results. Thousands and thousands of new cash-in-hand visitors specifically targeted across hundreds and even thousands of lucrative, desirable niches answered the signal sent out by the software and instantly made their way to where they had been summoned, signing up where they should, buying loads of product, and taking massive action. Now, if I heard this same message from just about anybody, my first reflex would be to call BS. The promises of magical push-button software are all around, and more often than not, they're made by unscrupulous characters that have a predatory drive for other people's money. However, this is different, and I won't ask you to take my word for it. You see, I happen to be one of the two mad scientists from the true events recounted above, and before we continue for even 1 minute, I'm going to make you a formal promise. Here is what that promise is. Before I ask you to even think about investing a single penny of your money or a single inkling of belief, this presentation will have provided you with something for which there's no substitute. And I'm talking about absolute and total proof, clarity, and truth. Hi, my name is Alex Godin. I'm a 32-year-old internet marketer from Montreal, Canada. My office is situated on 55 Mount Royal Avenue, and we are Suite 605 on the 6th floor. And since 2006, me and my company have trained over 50,000 internet marketers with the most cutting-edge tools and strategies for making a massive income on the internet. And the incredible success stories from our clients abound, but a bit more about that later. We now employ 19 people across the world, all dedicated to creating and innovating the best strategies, tools, and knowledge to help individuals and small businesses make a killing online. A large number of our personnel is dedicated to supporting our clients in these endeavors. And we've made millions, and so have our clients. And I'm telling you this because few people attack internet marketing education and solutions with as much passion and gusto as me and my partner on this project, Mark DeLeese. And this is important because it means that we know the marketplace like the back of our hand. And here's what that means to you. We know all too well the booby traps set for you by the so-called gurus just trying to make a buck, and we know that all those half-truths and false promises may have damaged your faith in internet marketing. I mean, how could it not? And I also know that you must be sick and tired of so-called magic software that supposedly creates miracles out of thin air. And so here is what I promise you. Before you see an enrollment form, you will know exactly what the software is, what it does, how it works, and how it makes money. Okay? None of this pay me now and find out later kind of crap. I'm going to show you in detail exactly how it works, and I'm even going to provide a full-on demonstration in live time. Okay? It's a full disclosure up front. Every fact, case study, and endorsement on this page is verified and real. Our reputation depends on it. And the suggested results are based on hundreds of hours of research, verification, and hundreds of real user case studies. So that said, let me introduce you to the system from all angles at its best and at its worst so that you can see for yourself the wicked advantage that you could immediately have in your hands. But first, some critical words of wisdom from the Prince of Print, Gary Halbert, one of the most ingenious and agile wealth-creating marketers to ever walk this earth. Okay, Gary, who passed away in 2007, was extremely fond of creating an incredibly important paradigm shift in his audiences with the following analogy. Here's how he did it. First, he asked his audience to imagine that they had a gun to their head and that shining in this decision was a life or death matter. And then he asked them to make this decision. He asked them what they would choose as their biggest advantage if they had a hot dog cart full of hot dogs which they had to sell by day's end or else. And the typical answers ranged from a huge advertising budget to gourmet meats and condiments to lower prices. And Gary would say, wrong, wrong, wrong. Because all those approaches depend on creating desire in the target audience when you could simply use something else, something much more powerful to reach your ends, which is the already existing desire of a hungry audience. And this is exactly what I propose to do, quite simply, to make it rain on virtually instant notice. Now imagine waltzing your hot dog cart straight into a starving crowd. Price wouldn't matter. Advertising would be useless. In fact, the only thing that would matter is how fast you can fill the orders. Now, imagine if there were one place in the world where you could come into contact with any type of hungry audience at the flick of a few buttons and then land your hot dog cart smack in the middle of it. That would almost certainly produce the desired effect. Okay, folks that want to lose weight, people that want to make more money, those that want to fix their credit, arthritis or yeast infection sufferers, people who want to train their dogs or get a second education. It doesn't really matter. No matter the hunger, there's an audience for it. And no matter the audience, they can be reached with pinpoint accuracy, near instant speed, and close to zero cost in time, money, or work. I know it sounds almost too easy, and truth be told it is, but only because the masses don't realize it yet. And that's why if you have a single iota of desire to make uncommonly large sums of money with uncommon ease, then there's not a single second to waste in channeling this very timely turn of events. You can build a list of over 10,000 subscribers in under 5 minutes. You can make 5,000 friends in 2 minutes or less, reach 2,316 targeted unique visitors per day, and set up a $45 income stream in 21 minutes, and do this as often as you want. And this doesn't just work for beginners. Even world-class experts in their disciplines with massive credibility and advertising budgets choose to do things this way because it works better and it costs next to nothing to execute.